Hello, hello. It's your boy Mess. Here one more time. Uh, just wanted to bring to your attention something that is very confusing to me. I am trying to watch a little bit about the White House card. That it seems like the general consensus at the moment is that it's straight up garbage, and something in the making of that card, obviously by the video that you can see. Um, has kind of been just giving a life of its own to a certain extent. We're talking about Mr. Johnny Bones Jones in this situation, as you can see by the illustrated AI picture in the background. And so, how insane is AI getting? So the crazy part about all of this is that Johnny Bones Jones appears to be very upset about how the UFC have handled him, and that was a little bit confusing to me. Is what in reality are you mad about, right? We're talking about John Jones. So what Jones did is he brought up this little tweet. So what I wanted to talk to you about is specifically this. Um, so this has happened after Dana White has brought up a couple of I think he announced the fights. Maybe this is when it happened. So basically, if you guys don't know, Dana is doing a couple promotions out here. He's doing a promotion for Power Slap. He's doing a promotion for Zuffa Boxing. I think those are the big ones. Obviously, aside from the UFC. But if you look at it, it seems like with the UFC, he's pulled back a lot, unless it's like specific people that are involved. So what Dana basically has said is that um, he's been like uh he announced the white card and all of that, and maybe somebody asked him about John Jones. um Long story short, he said that something along the line that he never considered John Jones for the White House. and and I feel like they're talking about two different things, right? So never considered John Jones for the White House, and that, John Jones is retired. Which, if you're gonna piss John Jones off, is just speak on him. Like, it doesn't matter what the context is. If you just speak on him, it seems to be an issue. Like, if somebody says John Jones is this, John Jones is that. If John Jones says something and somebody disagrees with him, he goes into a very crazy place, um of over how he feels about it, right? Long story short, so he goes, I'm released from the UFC. Let's go. If I would prove him wrong, would I be wrong? So he's talking about the negotiation, or would a bigger man be remaining silent? So, and then he's like, I'll be the fall guy. Sure, make this make sense. So all of this negotiation was complete bullshit. Is that what you want to agree to publicly? And then, man, how effing painful. Laying in my bed, wrapping my head around this perception, all I can think is now effing painful. And then the other half of me like, but it's but is it really though? And I think all of this got deleted. I don't follow John Jones. This is just what popped up in my front. So, is John Jones released from the UFC? No. Let's go. Go. If I would prove him wrong, would I be wrong? Um, you don't have to. Your manager can take care of something like that. They can speak on your behalf, and they can disclose something. And I don't think they're as tied up as you are. And you got Malky in your corner who would be able to do all of this. So here's the crazy part, right? I'm listening to all of that, and I'm understanding, like, all right, Jones is a little bit upset, Jones is a little bit hurt, and he thinks the UFC did him dirty. I am completely in the opposite team. I think he should have seen this coming. why in the world would you think that it's gonna work out for you at all in that type of context? Why would you think that the UFC would be would be cool with bringing you? We had I think it might be all over the Tom Aspinall thing. So the UFC has given Cyril Gahn to John Jones. I think before they set him up with Stipe. John Jones was whole idea was like, oh, I'm gonna return, and basically, it's hard not to get excited when you have somebody that will shake up the division. In my opinion, John Jones followed the sorry, not John Jones. Dana follows the boxing side of things, right? Dana would say something along the line of um Dana would say something along the line of the heavyweight champion is the greatest champion in the sport, hands down. They're the baddest man on the planet. Obviously, this is MMA, and this has never been true. It was always possibly the light heavyweight champion that was the best in the world until very recently. Until maybe Overeem, maybe that era had a bit of a claim because Overeem went through a couple of different divisions, but with many people except for maybe Francis, except for like they probably are all beatable by the smaller, more skillful guy, as long as the size is becomes less of a factor with fatigue, with skill, with whatever. Like think of on the lower sides, like Dominic Cruz, Mighty Mouse, and all of these guys were fighting lightweights because there was no smaller weight classes. Leave all that alone. But I think Dana has something in his mind about the heavyweights, and it was a perfect time to get this phenom, aka Tom Aspinall, and put him against his greatest quote unquote champion ever. And yeah, steroids or no steroids, John Jones is largely considered that by other fighters, and other fighters is like, why are you cheating? Like you probably have the best mind for the game in the game. Um, all right, tangent aside, I'm gonna just show you something that I've seen about John Jones doing in the past. Alrighty, well, let's see here a little bit about a time that John Jones did not make the UFC look the best in this kind of situation. And I think this is where the problem came from. Is Dana was out there just guaranteeing that we're going to have the fight. And look, like, God bless him, the dude is sitting there, like, dressed to a
I
T, and
mean,
what he says.
I just feel like anybody would understand at this point. Like, I'll retire the heavyweight belt if I have to. It's like, dude, give the guy what he wants at the end of the day, you know? And I'm not talking to Dana directly. I feel like I'm at a place now where, like, I want to take what I find to be super fights. I,
So, okay, this is this is the part I find a little bit hard to deal with. So, is now you just came and you easily burn one of, if not the greatest heavyweight of all time in Stipe, and one of the biggest contenders. I think Dana would give up his foot for Cyril Gahn to become the heavyweight champion because of his style, because of how classy he is, and a bunch of different things. And who wouldn't like this guy to be the number one? But the crazy part is everybody, like a lot of people are riding on John Jones' side. And then here is a part that kicked me over. There's tweets now in regards to the Makhachev versus Ilya fight over the White House, which was I think was supposed to be the first fight of them. So Um, Basically, Jones said he got lowballed, right? Um, and that's the reason he didn't get through. I think they negotiated with Jones because why wouldn't they make a fight like him in? But but at what point does they still bend over for him, right? Um, I work for a large tech company, right? And they're not just tech; they do almost everything that you can think of, from buildings, BMS, all kind of different stuff. So if I go to my boss tomorrow and I'll be like, "All right, F it, I'm gonna just turn it all in, and I'm gonna be on my way." I do not know if that is salvageable. Why in the world is he would he be listening to me? All right, let's name the guy Patrick, right? If I go to Patrick tomorrow, hey man, I'm not turning up on Monday. I got Monday off, so I'm sweet this time, by the way. It's Saturday afternoon in Sydney while I'm speaking, just to give you some context. So if I end up giving him some crap about that I'm not turning up on Monday, how much grace do I get? I'm retired. I quit. At what time do I go and get the job back? Like, do I just quit and turn up on Monday and it's all sweet? It seems like in every sport we have people to answer for, and for some reason Jones never thought that was the case. I think because of how Jones was acting at that time is why Dana doesn't trust him, and it's not a secret. I mean, everybody with a brain can get it, can understand what the heck is going on. All right, now you talk to the great, um, the tweet which we got by accident. So basically, Ilya said something about Islam because Ilya is trying to poke Islam. Ali, which obviously was a reply by Ali, not by Islam, saying like, "Ah, man, you and your fat ass manager, like," and just Malky end up. I think his name is Malky Cowell or something. Ends up catching a stray, and he's like, "We know who chickened out this time." Ilya answers, Malky answers, but in Malky's second tweet, the best part was is Malky went up and said, "Ah, we got offered the Islam fight, and the money wasn't right." Sir, you manage John Jones, don't you? So he must have been negotiating for both of them, and that's how the negotiation went. I'll give you Ilya, I'll give you John Jones, and all of that, but let's agree on the money. They said the money is too low. He said, "All right, the money's too low. We're not gonna fight Islam." Next day, they went back to the UFC, and Islam said, and the UFC, not even Islam. Apparently, the UFC told them that Islam is hurt. So he didn't say like the time frame, so I assume immediately he was told they're hurt. So a lot of these fighters are dealing with other stuff, like body wise that they're recovering from. So if there's no fight, they probably go take care of that. Broken nose, broken hand, whatever it is, because the reality of it is, even John Jones with the arthritis thing, he was gonna go take a shot that will numb the stuff so he can train, so he can participate, and all of that. And I think I think this has been going on forever. It's not something new. It's not something that controversial. So should John Jones be on the white card on the White House? I would have honestly been very surprised if he was. I would have been very surprised if he was. But the fact that he isn't, now that's how things are usually are. And you gotta believe me, Dana, like if you look up in his interaction with all these people, he will hold a grudge. Like Rampage Jackson was talking about how he went over to Bellator and how he thought he was not allowed in the UFC PI when he walked in with Aiden Ross. Go watch the stream. Rampage is killing it on that end. But he thought he wasn't allowed. And that tells you everything you need to know about Dana White. Like a lot of people go down to the look at the Habib team when they go to the UFC PI. They got the PFL champion, the ex Bellator champion. They got they got people from everywhere in the world, including UFC fighters. Like the whole camp is allowed to go in. For Rampage to think he's not allowed to go in is crazy, but that tells you who knows um, what Dana White can be like. So John Jones just said, "Look, I don't have a problem hanging this up." So now you butt hurt because you refused the money. So it's not only that Dana said you're not considered to the White House, you have actually specifically denied the White House by saying you was lowballed, right? You asked for 30 million, which what they offered you is Tom Aspinall. I mean, can we can we make it make sense a little bit? Like, am I the only one confused? Is like, is that does it sound like that's the way to do it? Like, am I tripping over here, or I don't understand what's going on? But long story short, it's just a little bit of a different type of video. I'm having a look at what possibly I can do. But yeah, I don't think John Jones. I mean, and this is like I don't know, breaking news to the smart folks. It's like he never was gonna be on that card, and I found it crazy that people thought it was, and I think it's Malky that during the money talk, he probably assumed that Ilya is gonna be stuck on the money as well, so he's gonna get that money to John Jones at even the low balled amount, because you got to remember that Jones has was offered. He asked for 30 million for Tom Aspinall first, and he said he came down. So I reckon he would have asked for 30 again, came down maybe to 10, 15. He usually get about 11 or something. At least that's the rumor that's going about. So he would have asked for 15, and then they probably gave him the same number that he's on. You got to remember, all of these guys are on contract, and I think their contract kind of stipulates how much money they get. And some of them, like people like John Jones and stuff, they have the pay-per-view and all of that. That's why Connor came out and he's like, well, now that pay-per-view doesn't exist, we need to renegotiate my stuff. And they're like, no, we can pay you. We got $1 billion a year for this new deal. And mind you, this new deal we don't get in Australia. So kiss my booty, because they ain't like, what? Why does they hate Australia so much? Every time something new happened with the UFC, we stuck with the old stuff. They went and took us off. And then they're like, oh, everybody streams. It's like everybody streams because you make it so hard for us to get the fights before KO came about, before. And yeah, I'm ranting and it got nothing to do with the video. But look, it's the UFC have something against Australia. We gave them Robert Whittaker. We gave them Volkanovski. Uh, we, by extension, gave them Jack de la Maddalena and Dan Hooker and Steve Erceg, and we just been giving them like the cream of the crop of the white population out here. We just sending them over, and then we got our like adopted son, Easy over there fighting with the good fight as well. Long story short, man, give us some love, man. Give us a PI. Give us something. Even the UFC gyms are crap over here. Um, we Nobody sees where Robert Whittaker is. Is like in some place called Greenacre or some shit like that. I like boo, swear word, but no. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear these days. Uh, look, all right. I digress. Let me get back and next time maybe take some notes. Again, this is your boy Mess. Unfortunately, your boy John Jones was never gonna be on the White House card, and I thought that would be the case. And if they done it, they would have done it at like an extreme low amount. And I think the reason that they tried to knock him down is that if they were gonna get a bargain, then they were gonna put him there. But I think it's only if they could get a bargain on him, and that was not happening. And then just went like, peace to the family. And then she said, "How you gonna leave without dancing with me?" Alright, this is your boy Mess, and peace to the family. And see you soon.